what I wanted to say, true, I'm part of the WordPress community, and I'm really glad I could be in Gdynia because that's my closest WordCamp from Prague because we don't have any. I'm independent developer and I focus like on all the fields, but mostly and the latest, I'm trying to teach my clients how to work with their site and let it connect to their processes. So imagine that you're buying a new bicycle and you can either pick a bicycle from some well-known brand within 5 sizes. That's one of the options. Or you can get a tailor-made bicycle fit to every inch of you. But there are things in the middle. Even though if you get a average bicycle from average bicycle store, you can customize it to fit to your body type. You change your saddle, set your saddle height. You just adjust it as you need. And that's what we can do with our websites. Even if you pick the default theme or something, you can customize it to suit your needs, not how it was preset. Nobody said that you cannot change the content or whatsoever. So that's why I use automation for. Basically, automation has ever existed and it got democratized. Like imagine your granny writing down the recipe so she don't forget how much sugar she put into marmalade. That's kind of automation. She'll find it the next year. It's a process you can get back to. You can, fine tune it and save your time. And nobody said that you need to code to automate stuff. And there are good tools for that. You probably know the conversation one. You go to ChatGPT, tell it to do something. The assistants all around, text-based, Zapier. It kind of works, but I think it's pricey as well, especially for the lower tiers. And then there are some more like visual builders right now, Make and Nathan. Nathan is, I would say, more complex or harder to set up, but you can run it for free if you're a developer. So that could be really super, super strong option. But I will focus on Make because it's one of the tools which I find with a good price and learning curve ratio. So you can start really easily. And then if you decide to switch to any other tool or code it yourself, you just bring your logic and use it there. So the problem we all face, imagine starting your WordPress. Nobody set the updates. Nobody knows what's going on. There are plugins. You don't know why you install them. Did you use it once? Did someone else use it once? People are copy-pasting the data from WordPress to elsewhere. They are refusing to work with the overloaded administration. So they are slacking, talking to you, calling, sticky notes everywhere. The process is not clear and you feel like that as a developer. By the way, who is the developer? Hands up. Okay, part. Marketing guys, content editors, some. This could be good for you and you should listen to them, you developers, I'm talking to you, because the problem is always that you don't talk to each other. So your knowledge gets stuck somewhere behind the scenes in the very overcomplicated logic and they don't get the data. And that's the real problem. If they are stored and kept in secret in WordPress, nobody knows what to do with it. And it's really hard to work with it. But the WordPress site is just part of the whole huge workflow. So you need to update it. If it's a website that you can't edit, you could set it in stone and it will work basically the same, except that, it's hard to access. And you need a new feature. You get expensive and slow development. The process is not documented because you're in a rush and you have to deliver fast, so you don't write it down after months or two. Nobody knows how to use the feature or edit it. And only chosen ones, you, because you're the paid, can work with the tools. But the data are everywhere and you need to access it and connect your WordPress because otherwise you miss the huge opportunity and it's just, some kind of unchangeable part. So what do you do if you need to do new connection? You check if the plugin exists, but you accept that you hit performance, updates, security risk. It might be paid, so it's expensive. You need some monthly report. Or, you tell your dev guys, oh, could you code it for me? They will say yes, and it takes 3 weeks, and it's not working the way you imagined. Or you do it yourself because it's the easiest. You'll get it done in 2 hours. Okay, it's not repeatable, but you hope you won't need it anymore. Or you can leverage some kind of automation to help you get started or to get MVP. If it works for your case and it's worth developing the custom tool for that. That's where it might come handy. So it's visual, so you basically drag and drop the dots like a Lego. You can start with free tier and then scale up if you need. It's WordPress ready. They have plugin for that. Actually, it was closed due to some vulnerability issues, so it's really up to date and super secure right now. It's been built in Prague, so that's why I talk about it. Maybe you know the make before it was called Integromat. Yeah, they've got 2,500 apps already connected, so you get documentation, how to connect very popular tools, even the small ones, or they get a REST API, which could be useful for developers, so you can connect with the existing systems already. They've got their own API, so you can leverage it later. And they've got some like very nice and tech perks like custom webhooks, form-like inputs, data store structures, and they got some AI assistant which helps you to get started with it. So you tell it, oh, please connect something, and it will, just align the tools for you or explain a bit. And they've got AI agents as well, which you can try to leverage, for example, with your documentation and Slack or what so on. But let's keep it simple and have a look at the automation journey, because that applies for everything you do. So first is the why. I need to save time, eliminate errors, connect some tools, stop the repetition because it's boring, or you make errors, or you have to watch it, or don't forget it to be more effective. That's why you automate. You just want to get rid of stuff you hate to do. So how to get from idea to automation in 8 easy steps. Spot the pattern. Like if you do it once, it's not a good thing to automate. I mean, you can teach, you can learn from it, but it won't be very good wasted time. Map the steps, note it down, think about it. How would you tell your colleague to do it? How would you tell an assistant to do it? Write it down and start with that. Choose your trigger, when the action should happen. What's the start button? So then add actions. So you hit play, and what should happen? Should I start a new song, or should I send an email, or what happens? Then you probably want to set conditions. Like if it's midnight, you don't want to play sounds very loud. So maybe you want to, eliminate the scenario so you don't get any unexpected results. You don't want to test, you want to test it and debug. Does it work? So you want to watch like the log, if it does what it wants, and get in it and refine it. And schedule when it should run. Would you run it manually? That's as well possible. I've got those integrations, for example, for my accounting system. So I run it once a month when I'm doing the stuff there, and then the boring stuff, which could be done manually by clicking, like syncing the last invoices with something, sending emails for not paid invoices, generating reports in PDF where I need to, and then optimize, because it could be better. I mean, you don't have to write it great at the first time. Probably the first scenario you will write down wouldn't work. You get an error and you have to go and fix it. So don't be too complex. Start first, get it going, and then deep dive and fix it. So which tools we have? The triggers, that's the starting gun. We have either instant triggers, so something happens, you react. You get an email, you get a form somewhere on a website, you sell an order, bam, you want to do something. Or you've got scheduled tasks which run daily, weekly, hourly, whatsoever. And these ones are super easy to set up because you can basically pick any of 2,500 connections and set, oh, every morning check my website and give me a sum of what my team did yesterday with a new post so I can work with it. The instant triggers are a bit tricky because the integration has to support it. So it could be limited, but the most widely needed for me, it's a Google Sheet. I mean, I update a line, boom, boom, I want to get magic happened. Then you get the actions. So that's the bubbles which do the stuff. So basically, it could be one step or multiple. So you watch for a new post. If you get a new post, you can post it into Slack, or you can post it in social media. You can put it in a table where you do something with it later, but you don't have to copy it over. I mean, you've got your plan for publishing posts. Okay, so let the automation do the stuff so you don't copy like the wrong link or whatsoever. Then I mentioned there are the conditions. Do only what you need and validate and filter your data. Or you can use it to add missing values. For example, there is not set category. Okay, let AI decide on the category or pick one default for publishing or something. And it could be used for cost saving because in Make, you pay for like basically each bubble the data goes through. For each time you pay 1 credit. And you've got limited amounts, so you want to avoid doing stuff which does nothing. So this is a really good one. So then the reality check. Test, improve. Start simple, iterate and improve. Discover new possibilities. So ask people, watch around. I mean, you can go and watch, like, talk what AI did for me. And then you see, okay, I've got this integration. So that could be easy and I can leverage that in my real world stuff. Test with the data and monitor usage because you don't want to overspend your limit. Basically, I imagine that it will be like on a screen. I do automation, I don't get back to it. It's not true. You're working on it and like improving, so it does the stuff for you the way you're like right now. That could change in 2 years or 2 months, but that's okay. It should be like the evolving system, not rigid website which you get stuck with for 10 years, and I've seen that. The workflow examples, like you could imagine you've got a form, you put AI on it, so it could tell you if it's urgent or the client is upset or who should take care about the form. So you define in your AI task like, okay, Peter, that's the documentation guy, this is PR manager, and you can kind of, tell to which person the average contact form can go to. Or you get WordPress post and you can automate the descriptions for social media, put it into some kind of form, and then you just copy paste it where you want, when you want, or automate it further. Or you get your WordPress post for last week, write annotation for a newsletter, prepare some kind of very nice paragraph for the very beginning, and then you take it from there. So very often in Czech Republic, connection from local bank to WooCommerce and update the order status. Or some Google Sheets generating WooCommerce coupons. It's really annoying task, which I don't recommend doing, is to posting a new post on a WordPress with images because it's rabbit hole. It's better to do it yourself. More likely, I'm pulling the data out of WordPress or updating like post statuses, order updates or whatsoever. So tiny things which you have to go there and you change one thing that could be automated. So is it worth the time? I mean, from my developer point of view, yes, it's fun. Basically, if you want to take it more scientifically, you can have a look if it's a task which you spend like 30 minutes, you run it once a day, you get the value. So you have plenty of time to play around with it and you learn something better, or you get new connections, or you get some more time for some other discoveries. And you don't have to do it all. I mean, the landscape of developing has changed a lot. right now, you can leverage AI to ask questions. So the flow could be like, describe the challenge, what you're dealing with, ask questions, let AI search for the best way to automate it or what to do. Or you could take your workflow and paste it into AI. Oh, it's broken. What I've done wrong, or how should I fix it? And test your ideas. That's great. You can ask whenever you want, whatever, how many times you'd love to. So it's never tired. It answers all the time. It's great. So you describe your context, ask for clarification, do the research, share screenshots. That's my, one of the best things. Explain vision, stay skeptical, verify if it works or not. You could try the Make Assistant. It's pretty good. I've prepared some scenarios for you and I will share it with you lately. So I try to use the assistant. It kind of maps the right modules. Sometimes it doesn't connect them correctly, but at least it saves you some kind of, clicking through. Oh, sorry, there is no back. Yeah, there is a MCP as well, but currently it's not working for creating scenarios. It's rather for running them or managing, but I think they will add it too. So, yep. Here are some good questions you can leverage. Read them later. It's just for, to bump you start quickly. So what to remember from my talk? All the business is data flow and you shouldn't stop it. You should be part of it and be helpful because you get more work as a developer. Your marketing guys will be happier and everything will, settle down. Plugins, they solve WordPress problems. Automations, they solve business problem. I mean, keep plugins just for managing the things inside WordPress, but when you don't need them, you can automate the stuff outside of the WordPress. So the site is not slow, it's not vulnerable. You do whatever you want and you have control over it. I mean, WordPress cron, it's not the best thing for running stuff. And ask your clients how they work with websites. Sometimes I'm really, surprised. People are telling me, oh, I take all the orders, I print them down, then I write them to Google Sheet, and it's like, oh my, that could be done way better, and you could make your coffee instead. But you have to ask first. People, they won't tell you because they think that you are a really weird person and you don't understand their problem. You just make a new one. But if you open up, you get more work and the cooperation will be better and you save your time. I mean, even MVP, which you can deliver in days, could be valuable and you get the finally, the deal and you make it better. But if you don't serve it quickly, it's hard to get it. So these are some resources and useful links. I will try to, put some more stuff.